Hey folks, Colton Woods here with Colton Woods Horsemanship, and I want to share with you guys a few tips, steps, whatever you might want to call them, that'll help you become a better leader for your horse. Confidence is something that we have to deal with every single day, whether it's in our horsemanship or throughout our everyday lives. And so I can relate to this because I wasn't always the most confident person. And of course, there's still areas in my own life where I lack confidence. And so having a way that we can approach these situations and having the right philosophies and the steps that we can take to help coach ourselves through these situations, as well as having the right people around us, can certainly make all the difference in the world. And I know if you're watching this and you're a fellow equestrian, I've worked with so many people that battle confidence issues, whether that's because you've had a bad wreck, maybe because you're just getting a little bit older, or whatever the case may be in your own right, health condition, whatever. Confidence is the heart of so much of where this starts. And so we have to have a solid confidence, and when we understand how our horse and herd dynamic works, it makes it even that much more important, because a horse herd's never static. It never stays the same. If one horse leaves the herd because you took one buddy out of the field, or maybe a horse dies in the herd, someone else moves up into that. And that's so important to understand that with our own horses, because there's only going to be one leader and then the other one's going to follow. And so it's so important that we have the confidence, the tools and everything, so that we can be our horse's leader. So guys, and I've seen, and you might be one of the people out there that can relate to the fact that you used to enjoy your horses so much, and now something's happened. Maybe you don't know what quite it is, or whatever the case may be, or you know exactly what it is that caused your confidence to decrease. But I want to help as many people as I can be able to enjoy their horses, enjoy their horsemanship, and let it be a healthy horse and human relationship. And so I wrote down a few things here I want to run through with you guys. And the first one is your circle. All right. And what I mean is, who have you surrounded yourself with? Are they negative? Do they drain your energy? Are they supportive? Are they knowledgeable? Do they boost your Are they themselves confident? Are they positive? And I think this is really important when it comes to our horsemanship, because there's a lot of Facebook groups and social media groups, and there's even riding groups that people get together with and get to ride together. And you really need to take a hard look at who makes up that group for you. And this could even go as far as your spouse, or it could go as far as friends, right? Because if you're battling a confidence issue with your horses and your horsemanship, and that circle around you is not confident, is not quote unquote stable, maybe they're not positive, maybe they're the negative Nancy's out there. Sorry, Nancy's, but that's just kind of the rap you've got. And so are they being supportive, or are they being reserved and saying, oh, well, you got to be careful, and they're kind of holding you back because they want you to stay safe, right? They mean well, but they're still holding you back. And are they people that are truly knowledgeable, that if you ask for their opinion, that they could actually give you an answer that would give you the tools in that moment to then boost your confidence, because you can trust what they have to say? So it's really important we look at the inner circle. And you guys are going to realize that as I run through these, you might go, is he talking about horses, or is he talking about my life? Right? Because it's really the same stuff. But the first thing is, you need to look at that circle, because it's so important, particularly with our horsemanship, that we surround ourselves with people that are confident, that have the knowledge, that are supportive and positive, and they have a healthy outlook and perspective on life, and that they're willing to be honest with us, and that they're not gonna say something just to make us happy, but they're gonna tell us exactly what we need to hear in that moment. And that leads me to the second one, which is that you need to be honest with yourself. All right, being honest with ourselves is so important, because a lot of times we might, it could be something, and this might come across bad, but you might tell yourself, well, my balance isn't the best, when you have no balance, right? Or I could afford to lose a few pounds, or my horse is a little bit pushy, but it's not that bad. But if you watch somebody else's horse be that way, how bad would it really be? Are you saying, oh no, like, you need to lose 25 pounds, or oh no, your horse is really pushy and rude? Like, it's really easy to give that perspective to somebody else, but then when we have to give ourselves the advice, we sometimes in our own words will cut and make excuses for ourselves. And I'm not obviously making this video to be a popularity contest. I want to help you guys out, and you guys need to be honest with yourselves about your situation and where you're at. You don't need to be lying to yourself. You don't need to sugarcoat it. You need to identify your own weaknesses, because that's going to give you opportunities, right? When you identify your weaknesses and you identify the excuses that you're making for yourself, then you can identify the new opportunity to then go in and make the changes you need to overcome your excuses, to overcome your weaknesses. And as you go through this, be very strategic. Listen to the words that you use and how you describe what you're going through, or how you feel about a situation, or how you perceive a situation to be, because that is so important. So as you identify these areas, take a piece of pen and paper and write down these weaknesses. Identify your weaknesses and be honest with yourself. And it's okay to shed a few tears and go, oh gosh, this is hard to look at. Because guess what? You got to start there. But you have to, if you're not honest with yourself, you're sure not going to be honest with your coach, your trainer. You're not going to be honest with your friends or your family if you can't tell yourself the truth. All right. So number three is further your own knowledge. I firmly believe we have to invest into our own education. We need to further ourselves and surround ourselves with people that are more educated, that are better than us, because if we do that, then that is a great way to boost our confidence. Because when we educate ourselves, we inadvertently get the tools, the skills, we get the philosophies, the approaches that we need to then have to be able to go into a situation with our horses or life and be able to have something to rely on. You know, it truly is that knowledge is power, and that if we it's like currency, and the more we have of it, the more that we can deploy it and be effective in the world. The more knowledge that we can have, the more we can pour into our horses and help our horses become a horse that's desirable, that's safe to be around, that's enjoyable to be around, and that you can enjoy riding, doing liberty, doing groundwork, whatever you like to do. Work cattle, go trail riding, do endurance riding, whatever it is, dressage, reining, I love it all. But it's so important that you invest in your own education, that you go, whether it's online or whether it's hiring a trainer to help you out and take lessons, but you yourself need to obtain the knowledge. And I was listening to something just the other day, and well, I can't quite get to that yet, because it's going to lead into another point in a minute. But, okay, number four, all right, kick comfort, all right? So I'm going to kind of read this off a little bit, because I was on a roll and I was writing this down, but kicking comfort is not a new concept, right? We need to get comfortable in uncomfortable environments, in uncomfortable situations. And life right now, it's 2019, life right now is pretty dang cozy for a lot of us, right? Things are pretty easy in the grand scheme of things, and I'm sure we've all got our own situations that we have to battle on a daily basis, but you know, we're not hunting and gathering, we're not having to deal with astronomically bad things. Life is pretty good, and it's pretty cozy, and honestly, people are getting soft, all right? And so why would I put it that way? It's because we need to have that confidence that we can be okay in uncomfortable environments, because sometimes when we're riding our horses, things might happen that we didn't expect to happen, and we have to be able to be the leader in that situation, because our horse is either going to check in with us and go, hey, what do we do? Or your horse is going to go, you haven't been confident in leading and you haven't been the decision maker in this relationship, so I'm going to call the shots. And the chances are that sometimes that might not be what you want your horse to do in that moment, and then it becomes this big mess. So, you know, you might be battling insecurities or whatever the case may be for quite a long time. And so let's really be honest with ourselves, that I'm telling you guys to get comfortable in uncomfortable environments. And a lot of times, folks, you might be one listening to this video, but you haven't been comfortable being around your horse for a while because you haven't had the confidence that you needed to be. So you've retreated to something like, oh, well, I decided not to ride today, or I just groomed him off today. But the fact of the matter is that you probably experienced some sort of stress and discomfort in just the whole idea of having to be around your horse, or trying, or being uncomfortable because you wanted to go further with your horse, but you didn't have a plan to get there. So you really haven't been comfortable, and probably it's actually been worse because it's been like this nagging thing for so long. So I'm telling you to deliberately put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and that doesn't mean do things that are dangerous or to discount danger, because I've got some other videos on what you guys can do by yourselves, not with your horses, because guys, this is about developing you. These are things that you need to work on your time. These aren't things that we have to go and put on the shoulders of our horses for them to become our therapist. I do not recommend doing that. These are things that we need to work on our time, so that when we go to be with our horses, then we can better serve our horses and what they need, and we can be there to be the leader, be the confident individual that we need to be for our horses. So we need to become comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And when I say that, that means that, like I said, we don't need to disregard danger, but we need to train ourselves, because look at this, guys. It's this simple, okay? And this is a quirky analogy, but it's this simple. If you look at diamonds, diamonds don't pop up on the side of the rivers necessarily. They might. Actually, that's a lie. But my point being, they're not sitting on the surface, right? A lot of the diamonds that we have to find, that people find, they mine for them. They have to dig into the earth to find them. And where those diamonds are created, the reason they're that deep is because they've been created from pressure. And that pressure has then created a diamond. It has taken coal, that's this ugly black piece of rock, and it's turned it into a diamond because it's on through pressure. And that's essentially what we have to do with ourselves. If we want to stay like a piece of coal and be pretty boring, to be honest with you, right? Like, it has a function you can go through. You can, like, coal can be burned. It can do all these things. We can utilize it for all sorts of stuff. But it's the value in it, and what it can actually be worth later on is strictly dictated by the amount of pressure that it goes through. So if you are willing to put yourself through more pressure and to put yourself in more uncomfortable environments, you are maximizing the potential that God gave you, and maximizing the effect that you can have on your horses, the other horses you get to work with, the people that you get to be around. Like, this is so important to me. And I know that this is I've kind of gone off a little bit on outside of the horsemanship, but it's so true, because it affects every area of your life. And whether it's just horsemanship or whatever, you have to get comfortable in uncomfortable environments, because guys, it's going to rain. Whether you're on the back of your horse or you're going through life, you need to be ready for those moments. All right. Number 5, excuse me, is get physical. All right. Everyone goes, oh no, he's going to talk about working out. You're right. But why? I think it's one of the best things and the quickest things that we can turn around in our lives and start doing. Why is that? Because it's one of the best things to do to change your confidence in yourself, because you can feel it and you can see it. You can feel the results when you're sore the next day. And over the first week, 2 weeks, you can start to see results from your efforts. And seeing and feeling is believing. Right? So physical exercise is so important, because it starts to chemically change the brain. It starts to change the way we think. And think about it this way. We're equestrians. We ride horses. We need better cardio. We need better balance. We need better flexibility. We need all of these things. And so the benefit, there's so much more mental benefit to working out, but also for what we do and what we love to do with our horses, we need to be doing it anyway. So guys, get physical. Go out there, if you're not doing anything, get off the couch. That's what you need to go do. You need to get off the couch and you need to go for a jog, go for a long walk, and then build strength, build your cardio up, build your flexibility, build your balance, all of those things we need to do. And get busy doing it, because that's the best thing. It'll change your brain. It's not fun. I am the first one to say that I dislike doing it, but I love the feeling afterwards, because for the next couple of days, I can feel it every single time. And I know I'm getting stronger. I know my cardio is getting better. I know my balance is better. And when I work with my horses, I can feel that I'm better balanced. I can feel that I'm stronger. And so guys, pour into that. Start getting physical. Do it for you. Do it for your horses. You'll be healthier, right? It's great that you guys get to be better with your horses, and this is going to help your confidence, but it also gets to lead you to living a better, healthier life. So, number 6, create a plan. All right. And the second one, I said, be honest with yourself. The second one, I said that you need to go write down your weaknesses, your insecurities, your excuses. You need to write all that stuff down. You need to do that, and then you need to develop a plan. You need to develop a physical fitness plan. You need to develop answers to why you're not being honest with yourself. And you need to write this stuff down. You need to take accountability for your time every single day. You need to write down a daily schedule, and you need to stick to it, and you need to refine it on a daily basis. Every day I write down my schedule, and then at the evening I review it, and I write reflections down, thoughts, ideas, anything throughout the day. I have this little book right here that I'm still using for this video, but I also have my schedule in here. I have so much of my day-to-day stuff in here that keeps me accountable. Instead of having an accountability partner, I've got an accountability journal, and I can use this for reflections. I can use this for thought processes. But guys, there's so much power in putting your thoughts into written word and putting that in a book. So you guys need to create a plan, and you need to do number 7, which is your written reflections. You need to go every day, whether you have a big success, you have an epic failure, or you just need to thought process through what you went through with your horse at the barn or what you went through at work that day. You guys need to take a pen and paper, find you a journal, find you a little book, and put it on paper and go through all of these things we've talked about. What did you do that day to challenge yourself in an uncomfortable situation? What was the decision you made to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, and how did it go? Right? Did it not go well at all and you had a panic attack? That's okay. Write it down. Then do what the military calls an after action report. Write down why it happened, what you think caused it, analyze the situation, and then create a game plan for how you're going to do better next time. So, guys, there's your 7 things. Analyze your circle, the people around you. Be honest with yourself. Further your knowledge. Get comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Get physical. Create a plan. And do your written reflections. I hope that these tips help